Hi, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful Saturday, 11 a.m. over here in Ontario, where I'm physically located. I wonder where you're located. Let me know in the comments. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, and one of my favorite things to do is a gemstone reading. And it's actually something that I created for myself, and now it's something that I share with the world. And it's really special to me for all kinds of reasons. Those of you who don't know me, I actually had a phenomenal career as a public educator. And there's these different levels of learning, if you will, indicators, assessment, if you will. And you know you're on your way when you can take information, make it your own, attach, biologies of belief to it like I did with my gemstone readings. But the point I wanted to make in the perspective was that's an ongoing learning process, right? I didn't just develop this routine overnight. It actually, over the course of a few years, unfolded itself. And I love talking about it. So the next level of learning is committing to a routine and figuring it out. And then the next level, if you will, is sharing it. And I used to be a bit shy to share it. A couple summers ago now, I started to share what I was doing. And so now it's actually ginavirginiacasella.com. If you wanted to get a gemstone reading, what I do is I just do that behind the scenes. And it's important when you're running a spiritual biz that you know what I'm up to behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, what do I do behind the scenes? I think about you. I think about how can I best serve the soul tribe. I'm super excited and pumped up to offer programs working with the moon cycle energy. There's been delays and a need to recalibrate because the needs of my clients have had to recalibrate. And that's okay, but these past few, well, handfuls of new moons and full moons for the collective, not just me, but for the collective, there's been a lot of stepping back and recalibrating and having um, to reconsider your focus. The mind can only handle one focus basically each month in a 21-day period. So, what are you focusing on? And anyways, you can check out my website, ginavirginiacasella.com, because now that I've recalibrated and taken a step back, now I know exactly what kind of programs the clientele needs. And I am offering quite the extreme promo. So that is in response to dragons who require assistance, who may feel like things are not available to them. So ginavirginiacasella.com, things are officially, at least from me to you, now available. And there's lots of freebies like this, for example. I'll be doing this for free, committed every Saturday until the end of March. And when the end of March comes rolling around, I'll see where I'll be. Because I would like to keep coming live, and I am looking for more soul tribe. I'm looking for other platforms. Seems like there's some Soul Tribe on Rumble. So let me know. Where are you, Soul Tribe? Are you on Rumble? Are you on YouTube? Are you on Twitter? I don't know. I opened up all kinds of social media accounts. I wonder how you can relate. We're a story species. Stories are medicine. I'm very open about my life because it's important that you see that vulnerability and authenticity in me. Not that I disclose every single thing in my life going on publicly. And for what it's worth, it's important that when you're following somebody or you're inspired by them, or maybe you're considering to pay somebody money so that they can service you, you might feel like you might want to get to know them. And so, Soul Tribe to me is very important because ultimately it doesn't really matter. Um, I mean, to a degree, it doesn't really matter the services I'm offering. All that matters is when I'm speaking, there's something about me that you resonate with. And that's because in a past life, or maybe in this life, we did something together. We collaborated, and now here we are, and on a subconscious level, we're recognizing each other. So it's kind of like when you're in a busy room and all of a sudden somebody whispers your name from across the room and you're like, "What? Huh?" Like, why did that little whisper stand out from all of the other noise going on? Is it because they said your name? No, it's because they're soul tribe. So just the very tone of voice is what actually got your attention. So if I've got your attention, that makes my heart happy because I'm looking for soul tribe, and specifically soul tribe who are struggling with false inhibiting beliefs. Because let me tell you, folks, I know what it's like for negative thought patterns to just completely bulldoze not just my day, but like entire like month is just a write off. um, so I know what that's like. And for those of you who don't know me, GinaVirginiaCasella.com. I'll end it there. There's lots of information you can find about me. I used to be scared of the ghosties. I had lots of false inhibiting beliefs. And this is my new matrix now is doing this. And something I wanted to mention earlier, this is unscripted by the way. I always have like little FYIs I want to remember, but it's unscripted because I'm personally working with training myself to really come from the heart space and to speak in a way. I'm working on my voice chakra. I used to be a really great public speaker. I was an advocate for the British Columbia Teachers Federation, but I find I'm like stumbling sometimes. And so I'm pushing myself not to like follow a script, you know. I've got some notes here to help me stay on track. Um, but anyways, this is what I mean. Like we relate to each other in this way. So something that I wanted to mention was that well, I always want to mention things, but um, it's important that I keep coming live and showing my face and sharing my story with you, the ups and downs, because we're a story species, and sharing stories is very much an intricate part of our development. And way back in the day, kind of the ancestors, stories were very important. And what's interesting is stories came before language. So telling a story, sharing medicine, developing medicine, receiving medicine is an art. And we're not just, Homo sapiens sapiens. Our species is a story species. We yield the freaking arts, right? In all kinds of ways. Music, painting, English literature is an art. Communication is an art. Stories are an art. Our very medicine is an art. And as we alchemize, the medicine, the stories alchemize with us. And just like any program, what no longer serves us gets weeded out. But the thing is, when it comes to false inhibiting beliefs, your mind doesn't understand time. So, like, yeah, in a general sense, your mind understands morning, afternoon, evening. Your mind understands that. Your mind understands, for example, my birthday is August 14th, 1981, and now it's, 2025. I'm 43 years old. I'll turn 44 in August. Great. Yay, me. My brain understands that. But what my brain doesn't understand in terms of time is that false inhibiting beliefs that get created, that's a blueprint. And a blueprint is a timestamp that basically changes the program. So if something happened to you and then a blueprint, um, like maybe you were making a public speech and the microphone didn't work and everybody started laughing at you, and it was just like a real, unfortunate time, and you don't even remember that because you were just a small child when that happened. But now you have a serious lack in confidence and you don't know why. So you would spend time with someone like myself, a transformational healer, and we would identify and smash your false inhibiting beliefs. So we would identify in this example that, hey, there was a blueprint, a timestamp, if you will, where this is the scenario that unfolded, and your brain, doing its number one job protecting you, promptly installed a new program that you're going to have low self esteem. So you won't be making any speeches anymore. You don't need to be using your voice. No, 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 not you. You're going to have low self esteem. And you know what? Like in that moment, at that time, absolutely, that false inhibiting belief may very well have served you. But the mind doesn't understand time in the sense that you no longer require that. And your mind, even though you might have forgotten about the situation and even though you might feel better about it, you just are struggling with confidence. So you can change your program, you can change your story, you can change your medicine, if you will. So why would you want to change your medicine? Well, medicine, you take medicine when it's appropriate to take medicine, right? So the false inhibiting belief that you have is getting fed, and it needs to stop being fed, and the program needs to change so that the medicine shifts, the storyline shifts, the program shifts. As we evolve consciously, medicine that's serving us today versus medicine that served us 500 years ago is very different. There's always going to be the, favorites that serve us. For example, eucalyptus helps us breathe better, right? It opens up the lungs, the aroma of it. But there's a lot of other medicine out there that's not appropriate for us to take because it's not in alignment with our programming. We call that systemic approaches. So, a systemic approach, for example, let's say I have a toothache. I always give this example as my fallback. If I have a toothache and I go to the dentist, and the dentist is like, hey, look, you don't have a cavity. And for what it's worth, you grind your teeth. So you're going to have to get a mouth guard so that you can stop grinding your teeth. And I bet if you stop grinding your teeth, you're going to stop complaining about your toothache. And it's every time you grind your teeth, you're actually um, slowly grinding your teeth away. And it might not seem like a big deal until your tooth actually cracks. Now you have a big problem. You need to get the tooth removed. It could become infected. You don't have a choice but to deal with it. Folks who are privileged might get a crown, for example. Um, but the point is, okay, why are you grinding your teeth? You carry most of your stress right in your face and in your bones, and teeth are bones. And right here, your jawline in particular, holding lots of emotions, this whole like area. So wearing a mouth guard isn't going to solve my problem. Sure, wearing a mouth guard will help me, like, at night, I'm still gonna be grinding my teeth, so wearing a mouth guard is gonna help provide some protection, but I'm still grinding my teeth. So what do? Do I just keep wearing a mouth guard every night and keep grinding my teeth, and eventually I have to pay more money to replace the mouth guard? Some people grind their teeth so badly, the mouth guard just falls apart. Do I continue that systemic approach? Systemic because it's like a Band-Aid, it's not actually helping me, not permanently. So if I can see somebody like myself, a transformational therapist, then I can identify and smash false inhibiting beliefs, rewriting my very program on the deep subconscious level, the 95% of me. And then as a result, because I've rewired my mind, rewired my program, so I don't have to grind my teeth anymore and I deal with the blueprint, the problem that's causing me to grind my teeth. I don't have any need to wear a mouth guard anymore. And all those risks about, my teeth cracking and stuff like that, all of those risks go away. So check out my website, ginavirginiacasello.com, because things are available to you. And I know what it's like to feel like I'm not enough, like things aren't available to me, like there's something wrong or different about me. I know those thoughts don't make sense, but that's where I was at in my life. And I remember when I signed up for programs and stuff like that, even if it was like really, really super affordable, part of me was like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough for this program. Or, maybe if I take it, it won't work because there's something wrong or different about me. Like it's nice that it works for other people, but not me. So there's a number of folks out there like myself, my soul tribe, who are, 10 steps ahead of me, 100 steps ahead of me, 10,000 billion trillion steps in front ahead of me, who have lived and breathed my life. So I can go to them and I can make sense and um, be in harmony, in be in better relationship with myself and others in the world around me because of that mentorship. And again, bringing it back to Soul Tribe, there's folks out there who are just like me, who are 10 steps behind me, at least in terms of the false inhibiting belief department goes. There's some folks out there who are just like me, who are 20 steps behind me, 20 bajillion million steps behind me. And that's why we connect. So, spiritual autonomy is very important to me. And I feel really good where I'm at and where life has led me. And when I think about myself in those dark moments, I just think like, if it wasn't for Soul Tribe and folks out there offering things for free or for an affordable cost, I'm not sure I would have made the turnaround that I did. The shaman needs a shaman. And that was hard for me because, uh, excuse me, I used to have a hard time crying, and now I have these little crying spells and I'm open about it. These are healthy tears. But, anyways, I was so used to doing things alone, is the point I wanted to make. And you really don't have to be alone, especially, one of the beauties that came out of COVID-19 was all of this opportunity for podcasters and folks like myself to meet with you online. So I'm very much available to you. And at this time, I'm offering an extreme promotion. It's not a discount. It's it's just to entice folks out there that this opportunity is available to you. And I made a video about the extreme promotion and I was rewatching it. I still struggle with brain farting it out every now and then. And in the video, I brain farted it out. I believe I stated you get 4 sessions. You actually get 8 sessions. So you get like 3 transformational sessions, then you get another one, then you get 3 more, and then you get another one. So that's 8 transformational sessions. And we start in March. So it's a phenomenal opportunity. And I also wanted to share with you that I think I'm just going to move my incense here because my throat's feeling a bit dry. Excuse me, my goodness. So so anyways, I just I don't even know what I was saying anymore, but I really love connecting with people and I really like working with the full moon cycles. I love the waxing and the waning, and I feel really encouraged, and I'm right where I need to be. And I always have so much to say, but something that I wanted to mention too today was one of my friends. She messages me all the time asking me about the moon, and I told her, I said, you know what, like you can go online and figure out, like you can find the full moon and new moon, like, that's not like, some kind of secret knowledge. You can find that online. When I speak about constellations on my Facebook group and whatnot, like, you can find that information online. But what I do is I just take it with a grain of salt. I intentionally don't want to know everything about constellations. I just want to take, like, the bigger picture themes and attach my own storylines to it. And so, for example, recently in my Facebook group, I posted a picture of the last of the waning moon, and you can see where Libra is. That side of the moon is dark now. So, Libra folk, they're like experiencing new moon vibes, if you will. But Scorpio folk, oh, geez, that crescent last bit of the waning moon is like so in their face. And now the moon's moved because the stars don't move, right? But the moon's moved. And now, is it Sagittarius that's next? Whatever constellation is next, like now it's intense for them. But now, if you look at the pictures, it's like the darkness is now Scorpio folk are getting that darkness too. So I personally enjoy making my own little connections and I find it fascinating, Orion in particular, if there's a planet on top. And I also find it really fascinating to make connections with other folks out there. Hi Isaac, how you doing? Good to see you. I also wanted to mention that with dream journaling, I wanted to share something interesting. So I've come a long way with my dream journal, right? Collecting day after day, going back, looking at symbols. And I have to say, I've got a really good thing going with my subconscious mind and my dream journal. It's like phenomenal. But then I sign up for Lynn Buchanan's controlled remote viewing. Whoa. My subconscious mind and it's not that we're not getting along. But it's just like, we're not doing dream journaling. We're doing CRV, not dream journaling. And so my brain keeps going into dream journaling where you just write and you make connections. And just like I described, with constellations and whatnot and the moon cycle, I attach my own meaning to it. So that's what I've been doing with dream journaling, and I build on ideas that are already out there. Okay, great. That's not how CRV works. And when I dream journal, I use colored pens. Sure, I use black. Black represents Manus, for example. But so when I write with black in my dream journal, that means it's like Manus speaking, or maybe I'm writing to Manus and that's why I'm using black. But for the most part, my dream journal, if I'm just like writing in general, it's in different colors, and that's intentional because it's supposed to represent poetry and art. So hence the different colors. But I'm realizing when I do controlled remote viewing, in order for my subconscious mind and my conscious mind to be on the same page, we are using black ink. We are not using any other fun colors. And so this morning, because I have a meeting today, I had to do some CRV homework and I had to take a break from dream journaling. I didn't do any dream journaling, no CRV for like a week. And then this morning I sat down and we do what's called set aside. And so I was like, okay, subconscious mind, set aside. We need to focus on CRV. We're not dream journaling. If I want to dream journal, then when I'm finished my CRV session, I can have all my thoughts back about dream journaling and they'll be alchemized, it'll be even better. And I tell myself this like storyline, and then I do my CRV, and then I get my thoughts back, right? Well, today I feel like, yay, me, I had a milestone moment because before you CRV, you have to like get in the mindset and write everything that might like frustrate you or cross your mind. So, so I was like, I have a feeling that I might slip into dream journal mode and not CRV. So I would really like to have a focused session for CRV. And anyways, the short of the long is this morning I sat down, I used the black pen, I went over my set aside, I read it all over again, and when my when my CRV session was done, I'm a newbie by the way at it. It only took me like 10 minutes. CRV has been taking me like 3 or 4 hours because I get into these storylines and I'm front loading myself. You do not do that with CRV. So I have these habits from dream journaling, right? Carrying forward. So as soon as I was done CRVing, I noted the time and and then all of a sudden I had all these ideas flood in and I said to myself, okay, my teacher, he told us to write everything down, even if it doesn't make sense. So I'm like, okay, now I'm writing everything down. I focused on my gestalt. I'm not attaching a storyline, but now storylines are coming to me. And I realized after the fact on a conscious level, because I realized, hey, it only took me like 10 minutes to do this. The like when I noted that the time ended, my subconscious mind understood CRB is over, and now I get all my thoughts that I had set aside back, and they're alchemized, and that's why they were so now basically my subconscious mind was like, "CRV is over, now we are doing dream journaling." And I didn't realize that until after, like, an hour went by and I was writing, and it's like, "Why am I writing all of this?" And it's like, "Because I'm dream journaling now." And I was like, "Wow. Wow, that's really amazing." So what I'm doing, it's called the notice, nurture, nature cycle. So I'm noticing my progress. Um, it's coming along. I'm noticing that I actually had to take a break from it and step back and just let my brain recalibrate. Today I revisited it, and today I noticed that I was noticing that I was noticing. Right? Remembering to remember, this power of the black pen, very distinct. So when I do my CRV, it is black pen time, baby. Right? And that was a very significant breakthrough working with my subconscious mind. And then I think, well, I shouldn't say I think, I feel strongly, it's just incredible that because when you CRV, when you're finished and you write your end time, I started this thing where I would like make prayer hands to like give my thoughts away, and then after the CRV, I would put my prayer hands back together, kind of like my thoughts now are coming back to me. And I did the part where I gave them away, but I didn't do the part where I got them back because my subconscious mind is already a step ahead. My subconscious mind is like, end time, good. Now we're doing this other stuff, dream journaling. So I don't know if anybody out there can relate. It just made me feel really good. So I noticed it. Now I have to nurture that. So, how do I nurture that? Well, keep using the black pen, right? Um, CRV, the fact that it only lasted for 10 minutes, I'm a total newbie. The skilled, trained CRV, they sit down anywhere. They easily can sit down for hours. And I do have that stamina because of my dream journal experience. And so you see the high quality items are carrying forward. And I feel really excited. And I'm wondering how you feel. And, I like to keep politics out. But you know what? I think a lot of people are on edge right now. And that's okay. And sharing your feelings is sharing medicine. When you hide your feelings, you're hiding medicine. But don't hide your feelings. Don't hide your medicine. It needs to be shared. And I feel too like this is a really beautiful time. I feel like folks here in Canada, I feel like Canadians are closer than we've ever been. We have a lot of dirt under our carpet that needed to be aired out, and we started airing that carpet out. And we have in Canada what we're calling truth in reconciliation, truth and reconciliation. And there's been a lot of progress and really meaningful conversations about that. So, our country, we're already in the process. And like truth and reconciliation, that's nothing new. This has been going on for years now. So, we're already a lot closer as a nation because of just that. So all this business about Canada being invaded and tariffs and this and that and talk of World War III, like, let's take a step back here and notice, nurture, nature ourselves here back to our ways of knowing. When COVID-19 was unfolding, we didn't have access to supplies and stuff like that. Truckers were out there every day delivering things. Well, this to me is an opportunity to really remember our wisdom. Our wisdom can never be lost and our spirits can never be broken. And so I feel like this is a very important time, not just globally, but for countries. And as a Canadian, I'm focusing on Canada to really turn inward because, as a public educator, I've heard all kinds of interesting ideas about recycling, about interesting ways to build homes, keeping things affordable, keeping things temporary, because you know what? Things that are permanent actually cost a lot of money. And things that are permanent, like permanent structures, there's a lot of dust and stuff like that in between the walls. It's actually not healthy to have a building that's like 20, 30 years old. And the Indigenous folks have ample information and experience that they can share with us. And as a national community, us Canadians, I feel strongly there's absolutely no reason why we can't pull together as a country and share our resources and find innovative and creative ways because no one can save us but ourselves. And there's a lot of folks out there who have good old fashioned cash dollars. And I'm asking those folks to share their money. There's also folks out there who have ample acreage. And I'm asking those folks to share their acreage. I don't have all the answers, but I do know wherever there's a will, there's a way. And when I think about my own personal false inhibiting beliefs, and I parallel that to national false inhibiting beliefs, when I think about global false inhibiting beliefs, all of this fear, why are we so scared? Why is our survival always, being hung over, somebody else's business plans is being hung over our heads? Like, I think we all have fallen down the YouTube rabbit hole where we've watched videos where people make things homemade. I watched a really cool video. Somebody was picking apples, like apples, like because people have to, they put their apples in the compost, and it's just a real waste, right? It's a waste of food and whatnot. And so these folks, they would pick up those apples and transform it into vinegar, and then they would sell that vinegar at the market. And I thought, like, we should do stuff like that nationally. I mean, Canada in particular, we can grow apples, we can grow corn, and we can transform things like apples into wine. We can make beer from corn. And those things are very important. Those things are medicine. And you know what's interesting? Back in the fourth century, I learned about the goddess Bridget, and I was really intrigued because even though she was a goddess, um, she was all of the goddesses actually, they were still limited by their framework. They were biological mortals, just like you and I. But maybe some of you listening are not a biological mortal, but the goddesses were. And I thought it was really interesting because, times are really tough, right? And drinking beer was really important because it kept people's bellies full, right? And beer was very important. Beer was actually like women drank beer and women made beer. And beer was good medicine. Beer was alcohol that could clean and cleanse. Beer was also medicinal if you were having a bad day. Beer was also celebration. And, here in Canada, we freaking love beer, right? Beer's our thing. We love beer. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. And I hope you are too. And when it comes to your focus, what are you focused on? I mean, yeah, you need to be in tune with the world around you, right? But how much time and energy are you focusing on TV stations that are just showing you problem after problem after problem? People can't even have a conversation. They're not debating, they're arguing with each other. Their focus keeps getting lost. Like time is ticking here. What can we focus on? How about conversations like that? Hey, Canadians, we can make vinegar out of apples. We have an abundance of apples here in Canada. We can make beer. Beer, we love beer, right? We can build homes, even if it means creating a cave. The indigenous folks, um, they used to live, like, let's say there was a big pit, they would live in the pit because it was warmer there. They were shielded. So there's all this knowing. Food. We don't need to take our acreage. We know the realities about cows. We know when we grow meat, growing cows, for example, that the cutoff, the trade-off doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense financially, economically. It doesn't make sense the amount of protein that we're getting at the cost of the land. I know folks out there are not Canadians or might not be open to eating insects, but did you know that there's a lot of insects that you can eat? How open are you to, for example, eating casadas over hamburgers? What about a casada burger? For example. So I feel very hopeful. And we also have a lot of medicine, like essential oils. So this gemstone reading today, I was really looking forward to it personally because I feel like a lot of the stress that's been illuminated in this last moon cycle collectively has been a lot of stress. And even though someone like myself, I live in Canada, there's a lot of hype here about politics and decisions that are being made from other countries. And what's upsetting is I believe folks out there voted for somebody and they're taken back because they weren't expecting that somebody to say things that somebody is saying because it doesn't represent them. That doesn't represent their vote. But what's troubling is there are people out there who they support what this person is saying. And I'm asking those people to take a step back and reevaluate the focus and how do your decisions impact not only the rest of your community but the rest of your world, the rest of your relationships, and what community looks like and sounds like. I feel really passionate in this moment because I was a public educator, like I said, and I know I'm not perfect and I don't have all the information, but I do know. I used to be the involved type. Countries like Germany and Finland, that just comes to my mind. Um, they're up there as far as education goes and things like childcare. And Canada too. This other place, not. And when I think about the mental health crisis and folks I live with are obsessed with watching all this stuff on TV, and I catch a lot of it. And I said to them, I said, you know what? I'm not hearing anything about mental health. I'm not hearing anything about childcare. I'm not hearing anything about education. So all of this talk about war, Condor, ow. Mother Earth, we've gathered for the honoring of your children. The stone people, the plant people, the four-legged, the two-legged, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, the winged, the hoppers. the weavers, tillers of the earth, all of our relations to you and Mother Earth today. I want to give you a special thank you because the elementals that make up my body, the earth, the air, the fire, the water, this biological one known as Gina, the temple that the spirit embodies, is sustained by you, the environment, providing for me, providing beautiful, rich, fertile soil, rich and sweet, that I can become a tiller of the earth myself and plant seeds and grow them. And someday when I die, my biological form will be returned to you. Maybe I'll be cremated. I don't know. That I'd like to believe that every skin cell that I shed every time I have my menstrual cycle, I just feeling a lot more connected to Mother Earth and really every day more and more seeing my own body as Mother Earth and the body of others. Doesn't matter what the gender is, everybody is Mother Earth, including the trees and blades of grass. Those are all Earth. Ow. Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, and you who are the unnamed one. Thank you for bringing us together and allowing us to sing our song of life. And Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, star nations, a special thank you to you because we're in connection and it means the world to me. And the meaning that I'm getting from star nations, constellations, the moon cycle, the pastoral literacy that I've embraced, the sun being masculine, for example, and penetrating the land being female, that kind of stuff has been really appealing to my logical mind to help me sort and sift information. And it's actually in honor of you folks, Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, and Star Nations, that I'm using my tiger's eye this month. Every month I change my crystal ball. Sometimes I keep it for longer. If I feel like I need to change it throughout the month, I do. But I was thinking, you know what, Star Nations. I used to be really scared of ETs. Angel ET, you tell me. I'm not scared anymore, but I am scared of biologicals, whether they're Homo sapiens sapiens or not, and the self-regulation that they may or may not have. So it's really meaningful to me. You know, when I bought um, this part here, the whole thing reminded me of like an ET eyeball, and I was like, great, I just bought this and now I can't even use it because it freaks me out. And like, there's this spot on it right, where is it? Right here, that really made it look like an eyeball. And so I would actually put that side down. And sometimes it would be like that. And I'd be like, I put it down like that. So that wasn't freaky, right? So Star Nations, um, I'm not as freaked out anymore, and I appreciate you honoring my boundaries by presenting in dreams, presenting in my dream journal. And so that was a big one, bigger than usual. the gemstone reading, I have a feeling it's not going to be very long. We will do fire ceremony. Let's get to that gemstone reading. I got my special bin here. So I got my gemstones, and I'll just tilt it so you can see. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, tap tap tap. Duality is where it's at. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, hop hop hop. Duality never stops. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. D. The only thing to be uncertain about is my uncertainty. North is south, east is west. 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 I'll tell you how you can serve the universe best. See, I'd like insight for the collective new moon reading. The obsidian, or the tiger's eye. I want it to go right there. I feel compelled to put it right there. So what does this mean? This is a collective reading. So Polaris's focus is in the north. So it's being insisted that we are high quality items. The goddesses are drawing our attention to this area, which means there's a lot of support here. But let's look at the power animals here to get more insight. Got something that stood out was Toby is here, pendulum. And Toby seems to be wanting to root himself in the south. Jaguar is here. So the transformations that you want to make, you need to really root yourself in what your desires are and just have one focus. So Toby's like right here with Jaguar in the south. So you're not ready to be crossing any rainbow bridges. Me either. Collectively, right? This is a collective reading. Snake is where Snake needs to be. Jaguar should be over here, but Jaguar is there. Hummingbird is where Hummingbird needs to be. And Eagle Condor is here. Eagle Condor should be over here. So this is very special because, like I was just saying when I was doing the opening ceremony, you know what? I really need to go to the bathroom. Like, oh no, this is live. Okay, give me a moment. Where's my mic? I'll be right Okay. Whew, when you gotta go, you gotta go. So, biological needs were calling. Okay, so we're going hummingbird style here, okay? So, snake and hummingbird are in the same spot, so that's good. And what I'm connecting is that the South Pole and the North Pole, if you will, are in alignment. There's stability in the North and South, and that's why the goddesses are pointing us here because there's stability in the South, and the South is thankfully also representative of the new moon, the darkness. And so, yeah, we're being inspired to focus on this darkness, to focus on our seeds that we're going to be planting, that we're being inspired to just have one focus because the next full moon, when the moon starts growing again, you want that focus to intensify, right? So what are you going to do? Um, so eagle condor is here and eagle condor should be there. Now when I was doing um opening sacred space, I was giving a special thank you to the power animals because I had a very profound meditation with Jaguar, and Jaguar was basically had Eagle Condor over for company, and then when it was time for Eagle Condor to leave, um, it was communicated that I'm actually going with Eagle Condor, and that's why Eagle Condor was visiting to come and get me. And so you didn't know that, right? I didn't know that the gemstones were going to fall like this. So just for the sake of analysis and piecing it all together, um, I'm with Eagle Condor now. It's kind of like Jaguar's not home right now. I'm with Eagle Condor, so I need to be like, woo, going this way with Eagle Condor. And Jaguar's not home because Jaguar's down here. So Eagle Condor and I and you, because this is a collective reading, need to fly our lovely selves over here, taking our high quality items with us and coming here with one focus and then rest in the south. Manus reminds us that we're in charge of writing our own stories, and Eagle Condor is like pointing at Manus. And this is also representative of the wise and well whale and orca elders. And the little crescent moon shape, that's their pupil. And the pupil, it's looking at me and it's looking down here to the south. So it's like saying, carry your high quality items forward, rewrite your own story, go to the south, rest, plant your seeds, but plant one seed. Focus on one. All right. What else is coming to me? The other gemstones really aren't speaking out. This one here, representing the star nations, ETs, angel, whatever language you're using, they're up here. So when we start becoming better grounded at becoming the authors authority of our own stories and we carry those high quality items with us forward, these folks here, star nation, spirit guides, they're gonna help like drop the ball and really get this rolling for us. It seems the more I analyze this is that we're actually going to be um, given some grace, if you will, because instead of us flying like north, east, and then coming down here, Toby's actually going to just create a shortcut for us. Excuse me. Excuse me again. And I just want to say it for what it's worth. Folks out there have been talking a lot about targeting and whatnot. And every time I get like a really good thing going with a reading or something like that, I start coughing, I start feeling nauseous. So I'm going to take it as a compliment that somebody out there doesn't want me to share this information. I'm just going to push myself that much more further. So, Toby, if you will, is going to create a shortcut. So, we're going to be like double timing with speed. We're going to be coming here and then we're going to like it's going to be like a check mark shape, a real wave if you will. So when you think about a filtering system, all this stuff is seemingly getting backed up, but it's all going to be pushed through. And dog monkey folk aren't talking to me. They're not, it's not that they're not talking to me, but they don't have anything to communicate. I'm wondering where's the committee of the ones who listen? Oh, right here, right here. So the committee of the ones who listen, they're here and it's like they want us to follow them. They want us, you see, their role is to listen to us. We're not supposed to listen to them. But the thing is, it's like telling us like their role is not to tell us what to do. We don't have to listen to them. But their role is to collect our information and then hold it up like a mirror. And they advocate for us. There's lots of stuff about the committee of the ones who listen, but they're basically saying, listen to yourself. You need to go in to the snake and shed skin. You need to focus on one thing and you really need to listen to yourself because they're in front of this whole thing. So it's kind of like everybody's excited just to like forget about their problems, move on. But the folks, the committee of the ones who listen are saying, whoa, stop. I'll show you. So it's like everybody here is in a rush, and Toby is going, wait, just focus on one thing. The committee of the ones who listen are going, wait, whoa, you're all excited here, but do you even know what seeds you're planting? Do you even know what snakeskin you're shedding? Are you just manufacturing your life? And so when I think about everything that I said today about systemic approaches, reasons about like why would we even talk about war? When I think about creativity and innovative ways to get through times like this, like making apple vinegar or making beer with corn, like just for example, um, essential oils with cedar, pine trees, like just again off the top of my head, like the committee of the ones who listen, they're like, listen to yourself. You have all the answers, folks. So that's all that's coming to me today. And it's ending with the committee with the ones who listen. And they're basically saying, we have been listening. And if you folks think you're going to be moving on with your lives, you need to be moving on, living consciously so you can die consciously. And me too. Me too. Me too. Listen to yourself. What are you saying? Why are you saying what you're saying? If you're setting an intention, why are you setting that intention? What does that mean? I'll give you an example because this is just coming to mind right now. I think about Bigfoot. I remember I used to think, wouldn't that be cool if I saw Bigfoot and actually got a picture? I would like show everybody, be like, oh my God, Bigfoot, look, he's real. But after watching a number of Bigfoot documentaries and whatnot, there was one scientist, and if I had a better memory or recall, I would tell you his name. He's featured on the documentary Reflections of Bigfoot or Bigfoot Reflections, something along those lines. And the scientist, he shares that he too, once upon a time thought about Bigfoot and what it might be like to discover Bigfoot and share pictures and video. But then it dawned on him, hey, wait a minute. What would that mean for Bigfoot? You want to see Bigfoot in the zoo? So it's kind of like, you've got all these people, metaphorically, just using this Bigfoot example. I'll lower my screen so you can see that you've got all these folks, metaphorically, representing different aspects of you and me. This is a collective reading that are ready to like rush and be like, where's Bigfoot? Where's Bigfoot? Oh, we found Bigfoot. No. Why are you even looking for Bigfoot? For your own like personal, like sanity, maybe that's something that, you saw and you were made fun of, and just for your own sanity, you want to know like if Bigfoot is true or not. But like what is the heart? And if your wish came true, what would it mean for you? What would it mean for Bigfoot, for example? And I feel like in this moment, that little talk I was giving earlier about me dream journaling and controlled remote viewing, you know, your life, I know we spend a lot of time talking about illusions. Life is an illusion. I'm an illusion, right? But for the biological one you are, time is not an illusion, right? If you don't water a plant, the plant will die. If you, the biological, don't eat, get sleep, and whatnot, your needs aren't met, you will die. Time waits for no one. Something that's not biological, that's not living, it'll survive. Eventually, it might, mold or whatever. Um, so this gemstone reading, it's asking you to make this new moon about collective hopes and dreams. Every new moon, we focus on ourselves. Like, what goal am I going to set for me? I feel like this new moon is like collectively, what's one thing that we could focus on? Collectively, what's one seed that we can plant? And I'm going to say peace, and I'm going to think about things like everything I said in the first part of this video. And I'm actually going to type um, some things in the comments right now just to kind of like add to the biology of belief. But this full moon, I'm going to think about peace. I'm going to think about um, apple wine, cider, and beer, uh, corn too, essential oils. I'm thinking ways of knowing and returning to our sovereignty. Yes. This new moon is about planting seeds to return to sovereignty. Okay, don't mind my spelling mistakes. It's flying hummingbird style here, folks. I wonder, what do you think should be like the one thing that we focus on collectively? Put it in the comments, and I'm just thinking in this moment, some of you might not know what sovereignty means. You can look it up online, but when I'm talking about sovereignty, I'm talking about like being in right relationship with the land. And the land means the literal land, like the elementals, earth, air, fire, and water, but it also means me, the walking, talking tree, if you will. I'm the land, you're the land. Our bodies are the land, and the epigenetics around us, and how the epigenetics and the land respond to each other. So there's one more thing for me to do, and that's to pull a tarot card. Not a tarot card, an oracle card. And I'm just going to ran out of space here on my thing. Uh, let me switch those to the side. I want to know a final thought to wrap up this gemstone reading. I'm surprised the other gemstones didn't have anything to say. That's okay because the other gemstones that spoke to me, if you will, they had like a more concentrated message about peace and hope and oneness. Make this new moon about oneness. Minority and majority perspectives equally important. Okay, this one here is going. So I'm gonna so the earth, the air. This is the air elemental. I can't make it out. Ooh, I like this one. And that pink lightning bolt, that's me, and I'm cracking the sky. I'm taking charge of my life. And that pink lightning bolt is you too, because it's collective. This is also me. You too. So we are um this is like a rose, but it's also a rose quartz. We exist in a state of unconditional love. Nothing can harm us except ourselves. The only thing inside is you. Only you can harm you. Only you can save you. Only you can make you happy. Only you can make you miserable. The epigenetics around you, you can't control. But when it comes to oneness, I do believe that we can control epigenetics because as one, for example, um, if if I was hosting a birthday party for you and everybody was in a good mood and we're, the epigenetics is a very lighthearted mood, well, I'm controlling that because I invited people to your birthday party that like you, right? If you had conflict with folks and I invited those people to your birthday party, that would not be a very good epigenetics to be around. So when I consider stuff like that, I control to the best of my ability my epigenetics, but on a grand scale of oneness, if everybody came together and had one idea and everybody focused on that one idea, that would override the subconscious mind programming, including the programming that we all belong to, which is the world around us. So we're both this lightning bolt, the world around us, and we're both inside. We're inside and outside, and that's the holographic universe, the projection, reflection. So we can take charge of our lives, yes. But when I think about the reading from today, the gemstone reading and everything that kicked it off, yep, seems clear to me that there's an emphasis on oneness and to turn in and to listen to yourself. Listen to the things that you say. Why are you saying those things? And I know I'm going to be reflecting a lot about this. So, anyways, let's do some fire ceremony. I always share what's going on my mind, and past few fire ceremonies I didn't share, but today I would like to share. There you can see my candle. I'm uh, something that I'm letting go. I'm letting go. Um, Feeling like I have to have everything figured out. It's okay to make changes, and it's okay to make mistakes, because that's what hummingbird energy is all about. So I'm letting that go, and I feel good about even having to go to the bathroom when I was live. Like, it happened. It's okay. I'm letting all that go. I'm not phased at all that I went to the bathroom when I was live. Thankfully, I was mindful to take my microphone off. But even coughing, like I'm coughing now, like in the past, I just would have like closed it right down and restarted. I wouldn't even go live. I would just like make a pre-recorded video. So I'm letting all that go, and I'm letting it go even more, and I'm becoming more and more comfortable. So I'm letting perfection go. And something that I'm thankful for is the committee of the ones who listen. Because initially, um, like before I started communicating to you, the information that was coming to me in my mind, I wasn't impressed that the folks who are on the committee of the ones who listen um, had like that attitude. But then I realized there was resistance. I didn't want to hear what they had to say because it's like, hey, you're the committee of the ones who listen. You're not the committee of the ones who talk. You're not the committee of the ones who smell. You're not the committee of the ones who see. You're not the committee this and that. You're the committee of the ones who listen. And your role, respectfully, is to listen and to carry out that information. They represent truth. They're like witnesses to our Akashic Records, if you will. Just because they listen to us doesn't mean they're going to change things. It just means they're listening and they're reporting out, and that's part of like how they work. I never really thought about it before, but the committee of the ones who listen, they're like carriers of information. They carry information with them. They're indifferent to the information, but they carry the information with them. But then it's like I'm realizing in this moment they're not indifferent, and it's actually challenging for them not to intervene. And so, given the fact that today war came up and collective feelings of dis-ease, the committee of the ones who listen are asserting that we need to listen to ourselves. We can't just aimlessly report out, and post and pray that somebody's going to take care of our problems. We need to listen to ourselves. We need to create an action plan. We can't just shoot the shit. We need to listen. We need to take notes. We need to have a game plan. We need to listen to all the perspectives, minority, majority. And, The lines on the map, they really don't exist. That's that's an illusion. Those lines on the map do not exist. We're one. And I'm really grateful for my relationship with my gemstones and the insights that I get. I'll just tilt it down so you can see here. I always feel better after fire ceremony. Actually, a nice, peaceful thing to do. When I was doing fire ceremony, a lot of thoughts went through my mind. I wonder about you. I really do wonder about you. I feel really grateful for things in my life like this hat, these earrings. But if people are going to be going to war and fighting, you know what? I don't need this hat. I don't need these earrings. They do require essential items and whatnot, but I want to, you know what, feeling scared and feeling excited, it's the same feeling. And those of you who are feeling scared, I want to lovingly invite you to shift, shift it into being excited because this would be the ideal time to return to our sovereign ways. And when I think about folks out there who are psychic, this is very much could be the opportunity that you've been waiting for. And um, something I wanted to mention earlier, but I brain farted it out, was that I wanted to make a point that, you know, the thing about controlled remote viewing is it's real. It was something that the United States government funded, and Lynn Buchanan and Ingo Swann. It's Ingo Swann's program, and Lynn was like trained by him and stuff, and took the program over. This is not like 500 years ago. CRV, like Lynn Buchanan is alive, and you can sign up for his program just like I did. So when I think about that, I feel really hopeful about this Maybe that's not the guns type. They don't need to be the guns type. And I find that very intriguing. And I want to feel excited. And I know when it comes to extrasensory abilities, again, community and story medicine, we need to share stories. If you want a community, for example, to be using technology and whatnot, the community needs to be educated. And the community needs to develop critical thinking skills. And we know, just like the committee of the ones who listen telling us to listen to yourselves, like we know no one wins that war. We know no one is victorious after war. We know that things like ways of knowing, education, all of that just is like really take a hit. And generationally, we really lose out. So we would only, uh, in my strong opinion, really be backtracking ourselves when now more than ever we need to be pulling together as one is what's coming to me. So, when I think about imported food, I love tangerines, I love oranges, I love pineapple. Here in Canada, unless we grow it hydroponically or in, some kind of indoor farming, we don't have the climate to grow those kind of fruits. And I don't want anybody to be going to war so that I could have oranges. Like we've got apples here in Canada. And I would like to see trade continue between countries and communities, apples for oranges, for example. And that's the beautiful thing about Canada, actually, is our train, because it was the train that connected all the provinces together. And the Chinese folk built the Canadian Railway. And like I said, in Canada, we veered out a lot of our, dirt from the carpet. Chinese folks went through a really challenging time when Canada was first developing. That's part of our history, and that's part of making changes. You know, I'm really thankful for folks like the Chinese who came to Canada who contributed to such services like the very train system that we have that's still running and functioning today, bringing goods and services to us. I really appreciate that. And I really am excited about how politicians and folks out there are going to listen to themselves and have some reflection projection going on so we can best move forward. What's important? Why is that important? I was in a dance class and I used to wear, for performance day, I'd put on some fake eyelashes. It was great. But you know what? Like, I don't need fake eyelashes. So if folks are going to be going to war and whatnot, like, what? Why? What are fake eyelashes on that list? Because I'm not okay with that. Are oranges on that list? Well, wait a minute. Like we've got apples here and other stuff. Um, who is going to war? The robots? You're gonna try and get gorillas to do your fighting for you, or maybe train the birds to start attacking your opposition. Um, there's like this push for technology, and it's like, remember how we got really milked? Like cassettes came out, then CDs, then DVDs, then MP3, MP4 type stuff, and it's like that's all part of the full disclosure. We had access to MP3s, MP4s decades ago, but nope, we had to get milked first. So I feel concerned that we're getting milked for this like futuristic bulky technology when really we could skip that, and like we don't have to go through the cassettes, DVDs, CDs. We don't have to go through that phase again. We can go right to the MP3. um so that's what I'm thinking about. Obviously thinking about a lot. It's almost been 2 hours. And I have a final thought that's coming to me. This new moon, when I listen to myself, like the committee of the ones who listen are advising, I'm brain farting it out now. um, okay, they're like pulling back and they're saying, "Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it." They're saying, "Don't listen to us." They're just saying like, "Here's a mirror. We've been listening to you. Here's all your information. We've been listening to you. Here it is, folks. Look into this mirror." Hi, Jason. I see you're just logging on. Good to see you. Today was a big one. Been live for almost 2 hours. So I hope you can catch the replay when you have a chance. And let's close some sacred space. Um, the final thought is go in and remember we're one. And decisions that you're making do impact others. And we're a lot closer than we might think that we are. And we have a lot more available to us than we think we do. And when we're panicked and feeling scared and making fear based decisions, um, we lose clarity. So find clarity in this darkness. And now I remember what I was going to say. This new moon is about sanctuary, not running away and hiding, not, the negative stuff like that, just sanctuary. You need a safe space. And me too, because this is a collective reading. We need a safe space so we can find clarity, because all of the answers, abundance, possibilities to move us forward. And remember the gemstone reading, we're not going to go in a circle, we're going to actually bypass. Thank you, Spirit. But we need to hold the intention. And now I'm making connections. Listen to yourself. When I'm listening to myself in my dream journal, there's different shapes. And Laird Scranton, what the heck is it called? It's like, you know, a circle? Well, this isn't a circle, it's a spin. It's like a half circle. And it's the beginning of life as we know it, if you will. And the reason it's a spin, it might even be called a half spin particle. I don't know. Scientist folk out there, what am I talking about? Um, this spinning action creates the cone and the spiral as we know it, that the universe unfolds and it gets bigger and bigger and wider and wider. But in my dream journal, making sense of all of this, we go in circles, right? Because we go in cycles. But when we, at some point, we start a new loop. And when I think about my gemstone reading and how we're like whoosh, getting that shortcut, it makes sense to me now. We are getting ready to take a quantum leap. And Jaguar is like right there with us in the snake, like in the south with snake, because we're not ready yet to take that leap, but we're headed in that direction. Excuse me. Eagle condor is in that Jaguar territory for the reasons I talked about, but also because if ever we needed perspective, now is that time. We nobody is in any position to be making any hasty decisions until there has been well thought out perspective, and that's what this new moon is about. Everybody find your sanctuary, find your clarity, listen to yourself. What's important? What do you have to offer? Things like making vinegar and whatnot, those are just examples. How can we then, because that's the eagle condor medicine, how can we take our lessons and our knowledge and our perspectives and then transform it into action? So I love how it all came together. Took a little bit longer today, but it all came together like it always does. So I love that. I really, really love that. Um, let's just close sacred space. Well, I almost feel like something's pulling my hands down. Like, let's keep the sacred space open just for another minute. There's just like a positive lingering feeling we're not alone. We're not alone. And controlled remote viewing, like that shit is real. So if you're feeling like you're losing your mind or something like that, like just remember that you might not fit into somebody else's cookie cutter shape, right? And a message is coming to me, just really reinforcing that your dreams are available to you. You can engage in spirit work and develop your own spiritual autonomy. You can follow my lead and follow the lead of others and make it your own. And that spirit is Spirit can't take action. The biological one, known as whatever your name is, example Gina, needs to take the action. But the spirit can help the biological one find clarity, tapping into the collective greater subconscious mind that we all belong to, since we're all one. Wow. And now I feel like I can go like this. I want to thank Snake for reminding us to loosen and let go. Jaguar for helping us see through the dark and to connect us to the sky folk, to the ETs, to the other star nations. That's Jaguar, transcending all time and space. And thank you, Hummingbird, for helping us remember high quality items. Like, for example, us Canadians being closer than we ever have been. Sure, life is not perfect here in Canada, but for the most part, like Canada's been through a lot, and we're doing really good now with having relationships with each other, moving forward, truth and reconciliation, understanding things like mental health. Here in Ontario, they've got 30 kids in one kindergarten classroom. Like, is that still in effect in Ontario? Like, I hope not. That's not good for mental health. Stuff like that. Thank you, Hummingbird. We have high quality items with us. Help us to recalibrate so we can do things um, without having to be so dependent on others. For example, making things out of apples and corn. And thankful, Eagle Condor, for your perspective and for all the connections, the perspectives that we need to zoom in, zoom out. First person perspective, third person perspective, being the conscious observer, observing ourselves, and the special message from the committee of the ones who listen to ourselves, and so that we can gain perspective to move forward as one, where everybody is included and gets to have things unconditionally, like food and shelter. And folks out there who have money and or abundance of acreage and or abundance of skills, knowledge that we pull together, and that's the true currency of the heart. And the currency of the heart is priceless. And when I think about Soul Tribe, I feel like that's what's coming to me is Soul Tribe, not business plans. Soul Tribe. And by default, when you have Soul Tribe, things flow. Just like when the social emotional needs are met, the academic flows. Just like when you go to the dentist and you're told you have to, you know, wear a mouthpiece, We need to move away from our bandages. We need to move away from systemic approaches, and we don't have to be scared. We can be excited. We can be in harmony, in good relationship with ourselves and each other. And knowing here in Canada how cold it is right now, like snow is melting, that's good water. How can we get the water to the places that need it, places that are flooding because of the snow? How can we find balance and harmony? How can we find balance and harmony with taking that water that's flooding and transforming it into drinking water? Things do not need to be complicated. The power is in its simplicity. And I'm thankful for all my guides who are assisting me today to receive all of these messages. And the committee of the ones who are listening, they're having a little laugh right now because they're like, um, I guess because they know me, they're like telling me in an hour from now or in a week from now, don't start second guessing things that you've said today. Like, for example, I mentioned other countries and how they're up there in terms of childcare, for example, or and education. Um, the focus is on Soul Tribe. Soul Tribe will know what I'm talking about. Folks who are not my soul tribe, who are not receiving this message, are going to go look at the statistics and make sure that those countries are the right countries and that I've got my facts right. And it's like, please take what I say with a grain of salt. And the committee of the ones who listen are telling me that was your fire ceremony, Gina. So don't worry about it. Don't feel overwhelmed. I can't carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. My role is a transformational healer. And so, on that note, thank you so very much. Today was an extra special collective gemstone reading. It was my pleasure to do so, provide you with that insight. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, and right now registration is open for clients who are interested in making changes in their lives, identify false inhibiting beliefs, and reprogram your mind, rewrite your program. You really can change your story to change your life. And that's something that I can absolutely help you up with. GinaVirginiaCasella.com is my website. And I'd love for you to like and subscribe to my YouTube at Gina Virginia Casella. And you know what? I've got a great community on Facebook called Dragon Dreams. I'd love for you to join Dragon Dreams and connect with us. And so on that note, have a fantastic new moon. It's going to be next week. And if you're like me, you're celebrating it today. And I wish you all the rest a very wonderful Saturday. So take care and see you next time.